Welcome back to the Gen Z Speaks podcast.
I'm getting real tired of your ass.
With me is a grumpy 24-year-old who looks traumatized by his aging numbers.
Getting real tired of you.
You trying to put on a character, man?
Nope. I'm just getting tired of you.
I've been tired of you. Every time I see you,
Then why are you
think you're getting old.
here? Then why
I
are
think
you here?
I'm here because I have to be here, man. I put in hours into this podcast. Think about how many hours we put into this podcast.
Lots of hours.
How many do you think? Over
A lot.
200?
No, way more. Just this year?
No, like podcasting time.
Oh, podcasting time.
Yeah, we've done 53 episodes.
Plus the 38 prior.
Yeah.
So,
Okay, so let's say about 1,000 hours. Not podcasting time,
yeah,
but in
total hours.
1,000.
Probably about 1,000.
So we're 9,000 away. We're 10% in, basically.
Well, Gary Vee says 10,000, right?
People say 10,000,
People?
not just Gary Vee. Gary Vee represents everyone. So actually, you know what?
Gary
It is.
represents everyone.
It is the people. The people say 10,000 hours.
Gary, what do I do if I'm getting tired of my podcasting host?
Gary,
and-
what do I do if my co-host is just
Gary, what do I do if I'm-
ignorant?
What if I'm getting tired of my podcasting co-host, and I'm only at episode 50-something with him?
Gary, what do I do if my podcasting co-host sounds like a kid, looks like a kid, but acts like a 70-year-old? What do
Gary,
I do?
what do I do if my co-podcasting host is a Kadiani?
Gary, what do I do if my co-podcasting host has no nationality, is unidentified? You can't put a passport to his
Gary,
face.
what do I do if my podcasting co-host has been kicked out of a country?
Gary, what do I do if my podcasting co-host does not value any country? What if he's just a nomad who values zero land?
Gary, what do I do?
The topic of today's podcast was the 2024 election, but this guy wants to be a comedian on the podcast. All right, man, we can keep going.
Sorry, Gary. You want to keep going?
No, let's talk about the election.
Okay.
Something very important.
Gary, what do I do if my podcasting co-host is about to be destroyed by India?
Gary, what do I do if my podcasting co-host insists he's not voting in the election?
Gary, what do I do if my podcasting co-host is lying to the audience consistently?
Gary, what do I do if my podcasting co-host has nothing valuable to offer on the
Gary,
podcast?
will you be in our pilot episode?
Ah, yes. He's on page 50.
Gary.
Okay, no, seriously though, man. You made a comment earlier that presidential elections don't matter.
I said they don't matter as much anymore as they used to.
Why did they used to matter before?
Because I think there was actual change that was trying to happen.
So you don't think elections can change anything now?
I'm not saying they can't. I'm saying I think things change, but at the end of the day, the result ends up being the same.
So everything is just basically the same?
Yeah, pretty much. Because the thing is, if you think about it, bro, right? There's two parties, essentially. There's a Democrat and a Republican Party.
Mm-hmm.
And they are both so integrated into our society that there's an agenda that they have, right? They have an agenda for us, and it's a long-haul agenda. And at the end of the day, they have money behind them. I know earlier you were saying about foreign affairs, right? It's the same, essentially. Nothing's going to happen if it's in foreign affairs policy. I think it's the same concept in domestic relations. I think that doesn't matter how much they tax us here or there, the prices are still going to increase. To me, as a consumer, as a citizen, it doesn't honestly, like, just thinking about it from like an average consumer, an average spender, you're not thinking about how much taxes is on a cigarette, how much taxes is on gasoline, right? You're just seeing that the price increases. And regardless, the price is going to increase whether it's a Democrat or Republican in office at the end of the day.
Yeah, prices increase, but
Yeah.
things still change, you know?
Okay.
Like, for example, Trump cut taxes on the super wealthy, right? And those taxes don't expire until 2026. So we have 2 more years of that. So things do change domestically.
Those guys, regardless, they're not going to pay taxes.
Yeah, but I'm giving you an example. Like,
yeah, no, I get what you're saying. I'm just saying that, in my opinion, the super wealthy example, it doesn't matter because they're going to pay accountants millions of dollars in order to save them tens of millions of dollars. Either way.
Sure.
Regardless if there's this new tax break or there's not.
Yeah, but no, elections
Yeah.
still matter. They have consequences.
I think we need a change. I guess this is where I'm getting at. We need a change in environment and the two-party system. Like the guys that are going to be elected, they're part of an agenda, and that's the real issue.
For example, even fracking. You know,
Okay.
that's a very huge example. When Donald Trump was president, he was all in on fracking. Biden, not so much.
Right.
If you look at, you know,
Is there a huge
immigration,
gas
if you
price
look at
change too?
immigration policy, very different immigration
Well, okay,
policies.
true. But for fracking as an example, right? Do you see a huge gas price change?
No, I'm talking about in general. Like, yeah, things.
I'm just trying to relate it to like a citizen, like a normal person.
Yeah.
Most people don't even know what fracking is, right? It's drilling oil, right?
Mm-hmm.
Has there been a huge gas price change in California? Not so much. When Trump was president, towards the end, it dropped 20 cents, 30 cents. What the fuck is 20, 30 cents on a gallon? It just doesn't. It doesn't really matter, right? And this whole immigration thing, there's immigration has happened regardless. Since Obama, it's been unprecedented, right? And then Trump, same stuff. People still came in. He's saying that he did all this stuff, but he didn't do so much stuff, right?
You're saying Donald Trump didn't build that wall and Mexico didn't pay for it?
Well, it's
Is that what
pretty
you're
bad,
saying?
to be honest with you. That wall's pretty bad. There's like 27 holes in it.
So Donald Trump didn't fix it, in your opinion?
No, he didn't fix it.
And why couldn't he get Mexico to pay for it?
Why would a separate entity listen to this guy, huh?
It's Trump. He knows everything.
True.
It's Trump. He could do anything.
Trump, you should have done it. You should have made them pay for it. He didn't have anything to say when Kamala brought that up in the debate. He had nothing
About
to
the
say
wall?
About that. Yeah, about not the wall, but about he said Mexico was going to pay for it, but they didn't pay for it. We paid for it, and we paid X amount.
Yeah. Donald Trump is a fraud, man. Like, it's very clear. He's a fraud, man. You can't trust him on anything. I think in terms of your point, though, about elections, man, I do think they matter. I think they have a lot of implications in the short term. On the long term, yeah, things take a lot of time to gradually change. But I do think people should vote. People use your logic, and I'm not saying you're using that logic for this reason, but they use your logic to not vote. They're like, my vote doesn't matter. Things are still going to be the same. So I don't think it's good. It's a good way to reason. Yeah.
It's the frame that you're thinking in, right? You can also use this frame to decide if something else, if there needs to be a change, right? You can use this frame of mind to think, hey, I need to start thinking for myself. If the same stuff keeps happening over and over, that's the definition of insanity. So why not make a change, right?
Yeah, just don't vote for politicians
that you don't believe in.
Yeah, exactly. Your vote does matter. It's a democracy. Elections are fair in America for the most part. So
I'm still voting.
Yeah. But I'm saying, like, a lot of people that I've talked to use your logic to not vote. They're like, it doesn't matter. Nothing matters. And I'm like, it does matter. There's like the president gets to pick who sits on the Supreme Court. Look at how many important decisions the Supreme Court made. For example, Roe v. Wade, no longer the law of the land. Every state gets to vote on abortion now. A huge, monumental change. Just one example.
Yeah, Roe v. Wade is different because that considers life, right? That's a difference.
Yeah, but that's a huge change that's happened in the last 50, 60 years. 50, that's a huge, and that happened because Donald Trump was president, and how many Supreme Court justices did he put in there? 3. A third of the Supreme Court right now.
How long does the overturn last?
Huh?
Can they overturn it if Kamala gets back?
No.
No?
The Supreme Court justices are for life.
No, right, 100%.
Yeah.
But they can bring this topic back up again, right?
No, it's done.
It's solidified, it's done?
The only thing they could do is they could pass a federal legislation that would basically
annul it.
Yeah, but that's going to be very hard to do. Like, that's going to be very hard to pass.
So this will never be able to be brought up again. Yes, it will.
In the Supreme Court, like, we'll see. But they just ruled on it, so maybe down the line. But I'm just saying, like, I'm just giving you one power the president has. Like, monumentally change things in America. So that's one example. There's a lot of examples, man. But, yeah, basically I'm saying is reconsider your opinion because I agree with some things. So the foreign policy, bro, like 100%, like Democrats, Republicans pretty much have been warmongers for the most part. They both agree, you know, like bombing is probably a better option than actually helping countries. They might say otherwise, but that's what their policy reflects. What's been your opinion, though, of the 2024 presidential campaign so far?
I think it's been interesting that they're starting to adapt to the times. right? You see them more on podcasts. They're talking to the younger generation, which I think is cool. I mean, these podcasters get more pull than really any news source, right? At all, completely. So I think it's pretty clever of them. I think it's what's really good is we start to see them as humans when they're on podcasts, when they're talking to normal people.
Yes.
Because when they're talking to these newscasters, they have an agenda. Their teams like put up an agenda, but you can never actually, that's a good question. I wonder if the podcasters have to tell the team what they're going to ask. Do you think so? So
I'm
they
sure.
can create an agenda?
No. Okay.
Andrew Schultz's didn't seem like that at all.
They ask what's off, what's off limits.
Off limits? That's what you think happens?
Andrew Schultz asked, "Can I talk about Shane Gillis?" Like the Trump impression, and his team was like, "He's not a fan of impressions."
Yeah.
So I'm sure they go back and forth about what issues are off limits, but the thing is, if you're going on a podcast, talk about anything.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have off limits. Just talk about anything.
Yeah. My point is, I think it's cool that, I mean, these podcasters, they're probably asking questions that normal people are thinking, but are never asked by normal
newscasters.
Right?
Yeah.
And so I think it's cool to see them as humans. And I think that draws me into who to vote for more.
I think a problem Kamala Harris is running into is it seems like her team is still reluctant of her to go on like
more
shows that are just like that might not be like very favorable to her.
Right.
For example, she went on Call Her Daddy.
I was just thinking.
Yeah, very good episode. Like, right?
You
didn't see it? I saw like 20 minutes of it, half of it.
I saw clips.
It was 40 minutes long.
Yeah.
But again, it didn't feel like an unfiltered version. Kamala needs to go on a podcast before the election where she's just unfiltered for an hour and a half and just let people see the real her unfiltered.
Yeah.
Like, she was on Fox News. Did you see that?
I saw parts of it.
Yeah, and like it was awful because obviously Brett Baer is a Fox News guy, so he's going to have a bias against Kamala Harris. Right off the bat, they were having a competition of don't interrupt me, you interrupted me, let me speak, you let me speak. And on a podcast, everybody gets to speak forever. It's like filibustering with no time limits.
Yeah.
I could sit here and annoy you for the rest of the day. Matter of fact, I'm going to do that right now.
No, please don't.
Because your opinions were so bad.
What do you think about Cuban?
Mark Cuban? What about him? I don't think like public figures should be so vocal in their endorsement of a specific politician. You could talk about issues, you could talk, but like full on endorsement of a political candidate, like helping the campaign, like campaigning on behalf of them. Unless, I guess,
it's freedom of speech. They can do whatever they want.
Of course they have the right to do it, but I don't. Should
right.
they do it?
Yeah,
it's up to them. It's their prerogative as citizens. I would, if I was in their position, I wouldn't be so. Like Elon Musk, did you see him at the Trump rally?
Yeah, I saw
like
him.
a complete, like I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't rally. I could maybe say, I'm voting for this guy because of this. Do I believe in them fully? No. But like, it's just a love letter.
There's underlying reasons, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
Mark Cuban
even admitted that. There's underlying reasons. He's voting for Kamala over Trump.
But he also has a personal vendetta against Trump.
He does have.
And Elon Musk has a personal vendetta against the left.
Yeah, exactly.
Because of the Twitter thing, freedom of speech, the constant attacks on him. So they're operating on the basis of personal vendettas.
Yeah, it's true.
I actually like Mark Cuban's approach, though. I think he's a great guy. I think he's.
I respect his approach, honestly. Even though I don't like Kamala like he likes Kamala. I mean, I don't like Trump like Elon likes Trump, probably, right?
Right.
But I think he said he was on. I think he was on Fox too, right? He was on Fox, and they asked him a couple questions that it was like parts of Kamala's policy, and he was like, "No, I disagree. No, I disagree with that." And the guy goes, "Then what exactly do you agree with, right?"
Mm-hmm.
And they didn't really let Cuban answer the question, but I thought that was. I mean, I appreciate that he can at least admit that there's some things that he doesn't like of hers. A lot of these guys on the left or right, they'll just agree with everything the person says. That's something like Vivek has also done with Trump. Like, he says specific things that he disagrees with
like
Trump
what?
on.
What does he disagree with?
I was watching him with Charlie Kirk.
Okay.
Remember that?
Yeah.
And they were at a college, and the guy asked him about it was a Roe v. Wade situation about abortion or something like that. And the guy said, I don't remember to be honest, I don't exact pinpoint it right, but he asked him something about that. And he was like, Trump agrees with this. What are your thoughts? He's like, well, there are things that I disagree with, and he was like, this is one of them, and said why.
Interesting.
So my
Yeah.
point is, I appreciate when people are able
Yeah.
to, like say, hey, I support this person, but I still disagree here.
Mark Cuban is a great orator. He's a great communicator.
Yeah.
He is the right guy.
He is the right
If
guy.
there was for Kamala Harris,
Yeah, he's the
like
right guy.
he's good. He's good at. He's way better at talking than Elon Musk, in my opinion.
He's relatable, bro.
He's relatable.
Yeah,
Elon
that's the
Musk is
thing.
just a weirdo. I'm sorry. Like I love Elon's work. You know, like
I wouldn't
I'm
call him a weirdo.
You don't think he's a weirdo?
No, I love the guy.
Did you see him at the Trump rally, bro?
I would love
Elon
to have
Musk
him
is a
on
weirdo.
I would love to have him on the pod.
If you're that smart, you have to be a little weird. Like if you're that rich and that smart, and
I'm a little weird. Call
no,
me Elon.
no.
me Elon.
You're abnormally normal. How about
Call
that?
me Elon.
You're abnormally normal.
I don't like that one. Elon, don't listen to this guy. He's a Gadiani.
Something Kamala Harris should do though is go on like a podcast like us. How about that? Gen Z Speaks. This is an open invitation to Kamala Harris. Come talk to Gen Z voters.
Yeah, sir.
Unfiltered. We'll be
Unfiltered.
fair. We have no agenda. I am not a Republican or a Democrat. This guy, I don't know this guy. This guy might be a foreign agent. I can't guarantee on this guy's behalf.
Probably from Russia.
But hey, listen, Kamala Harris, if you're looking to come on a podcast that'll give you a fair interview, Gen Z Speaks is welcome.
Welcome.
Welcome. Gen Z Speaks is welcome. No, you are welcomed
To come on
on Gen Z Speaks.
I think if Trump goes on Rogan, which he's going to, right?
Yeah.
I think Rogan should have Kamala.
He's
on
going
too.
to probably. They're in talks.
I don't know if they are, bro.
I think they probably will. Because
I
Joe
read-
Rogan has said if he would interview one, he would
mind.
do the
Yeah.
other. But Kamala Harris, bro, this is the thing. They're doing a back and forth with him. Don't just go on the podcast. What's
Yeah.
this fear? Just go. Bro,
Yeah.
like the I think the fundamental mistake the Kamala Harris campaign has made is to filter Kamala. Like control the shows she goes on,
Yeah.
like make sure she's in settings where she excels. It's okay. Kamala Harris isn't like Hillary Clinton, bro. She's very much more relatable in my opinion. Like she has a sense of humor. Hillary Clinton, my God, no sense of humor at all. Like literally just using poll tested lines. Kamala Harris at least is
She
like
made
a
fun of Trump pretty good. Clinton.
Hillary. She was again
It was
a
pretty
campaign
funny.
staffer probably gave her a line that she said.
Maybe.
She's very scripted person.
Harris is too, though.
Yeah, but she's not naturally like that. She's very like she's like a aunt, bro. She's like, you know what I'm saying? Like
No,
I
disagree.
think so, bro. I think Kamala Harris has not shined enough in this election. Like
she hasn't shined enough.
her campaign just let her do whatever podcast she wants to do.
I don't
Just
think,
let her do whatever it is. Look at Trump, bro. Do you think he had a whole training session on how to operate on Andrew Schultz's flagrant podcast?
bro.
No, he just went
Yeah.
on. He's like, yeah, interview me.
Yeah.
Ask me anything.
Bro, that one's a good podcast.
It was an amazing podcast.
Yeah.
Even people who hated him, bro. I was talking to one of these guys I met in D.C. and he was like, I'm not a fan of Trump, but I have to say he was so charming on that podcast.
Yeah. He was good, dude. He's witty, bro. He's really witty.
Yeah.
Kamala's not that witty.
I think she is. She is. The
No.
thing is, bro, she tries to be a politician.
Yeah.
Once you try to be somebody you're not, it's not going to work out. Trump, what does he try to be? Donald Trump.
Well, it's gotten her this far.
Yeah, but
It's gotten her this far. So there's some method there. I disagree with that. I think there's a method to politicians, right? That's why they act the way they act. But
I think Donald Trump has democratized it. He has given,
he's not democratized it yet.
in my opinion,
No,
he
bro.
has. I think Donald Trump has opened the door for politicians to just be themselves. Sincerely.
Not yet, bro. He's just a different person, bro. Maybe after he's gone, like he can't run again, then we'll start seeing different types of candidates.
He can still run again if he loses.
Well, he can't. No, I'm
Imagine
saying if he wins or whatever, if he doesn't run again
Yeah.
later, we're gonna see different types of personalities come in, right?
Sure.
After, but I don't think people are willing to do that yet. It's just because Trump is just like, he's just the guy to do it, man.
Willing to do what?
To be themselves, to have their own personality out there.
I think Barack Obama did a really good job at this.
He was like a center. He was like, yeah.
Yeah.
His personality was still there, but he's still a politician.
But he was a charming guy. Yeah.
He was charming. He's really good at being charming. Yeah.
Yeah. There's Bill Clinton, extremely charming. Have you seen Bill Clinton's
Yeah, Bill's
speeches?
a lot
He
of
was
of
great.
presidents are charming, bro.
A lot are not. George Bush was not charming
George
at all.
Bush.
George Bush was
W.
a
Bush was
clown.
not charming.
His father wasn't charming either. He was a
His
very
father wasn't bad.
George Herbert Walker Bush.
George.
He was
W. Bush.
yeah, he was very like politician. He was the
Yeah.
standard politician. Nah.
Yeah, but a lot of people liked him.
He was
A
a
lot of people
he was a one-term president. He lost.
Yeah, but okay, he did because he's
Yeah.
once he was in office, he didn't do great things. But in the beginning, he
no,
won by
it
like
wasn't
a
that
landslide.
terrible. He didn't win by a landslide, but he did win sizably because it was after Reagan. So he was Reagan's vice president.
He was Reagan's
And
VP.
Ronald
yeah.
Reagan
And
was
everyone
very
loved
popular.
Reagan,
Yeah, in 1988.
Right.
Yeah,
Reagan
Ronald
was
Reagan was
charming.
he was funny. Have you seen his speeches, bro?
I've not, no.
Okay,
No.
so it's just me watching Ronald Reagan in my free time.
Well, yeah.
Archives.
I haven't seen him in full. I've seen like
Yeah.
clips of his.
He was one of the funniest presidents to ever live.
Yeah.
By
everyone
far.
loves
He was an
Reagan, bro.
actor. He was an actor.
Donald Trump's the next best things from Reagan. He said that he's probably better than Reagan.
Donald is funny.
Donald
is funny. He is
He's
funny.
just a funny guy, bro.
He is a funny guy. And it's because, you know what, something he does, I don't think he realizes. One of the best things comedians do on stage, I don't know if you've seen, they acknowledge the room. Like,
Yeah.
they acknowledge what's happening.
Yeah.
So if a situation is awkward, they're like, oh, boy, nobody,
Right.
what is happening? Politicians get awkward.
When that
There's
happens, yeah.
So they're like, like, they don't know what to do.
Right.
Trump just has this natural instinct to, like,
Just keep
engage with the audience, not just keep going, acknowledge what just happened, and then keep going.
going. How does he acknowledge?
For
He
example,
makes
bro.
weird like faces.
No, he comments. He's like, "Oh boy, you look like this isn't going well." Is it like he was at the Al Smith dinner, right?
Okay.
And a joke didn't land, and he was like, "Oh boy, that one didn't land, huh?" And then he was like, "I blame it on the writers. I told them they were not tested properly, or something like that." He acknowledged it
Yeah.
immediately. It bombed,
That's
right?
good, yeah.
And he's not
I
a
didn't know that.
comedian. He naturally has that ability. If you notice him in like rally speeches, he does this very often. He acknowledges if somebody heckles, he acknowledges. He has a quick like jab. Yeah.
He's quick. He's witty, and he's confident.
He's confident,
Yeah.
bro. That's the key.
Yeah.
And I think Kamala Harris is also confident, but just let loose.
She's
Be
not
yourself.
as confident as him. He's a different person, bro. He's just a different person.
Honestly, does Donald Trump inspire you?
No.
He does not inspire you. Like he doesn't make you want to be your best version, like yourself all the time. He doesn't want to make you feel like, "Oh, I can just be myself."
You know what he does do?
What?
What he does do is gives me the ability to be more confident in myself, because if that guy did it, I can do it.
So he does inspire you in a way.
I guess.
If he can
negatively.
do it, I can do
Yeah.
it. If Donald John Trump can be the 45th president of the United States, can you be at least a good podcast host? Is
I
that
can-
possible?
I can try.
You thought I was going to
I can try. Definitely not president, but I can try to be a good podcast host.
What do you wish Kamala Harris did instead of what she does?
I wish Kamala Harris was not running.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I wish she was not running.
Who? Why?
I don't think she deserves the position, the platform that she's gotten.
Why?
She didn't run. She didn't run. And she just, to me, it's basically being handed, the torch. She literally got handed the torch, and then she ran with. And I think there needs to be honestly, dude, I think there needs to be a change in the Constitution about that. If I don't know, has this ever happened before? One of the one of the running candidates stopped months before the election. Has this happened before?
I think Lyndon B. Johnson stopped. He was gonna run, but he didn't.
And he gave the torch to somebody.
No, but there's nothing. So what you're talking about, bro, is a party thing. So in the Democratic Party, they have their rules and regulations. The Constitution doesn't talk about any parties, so it's not actually a
Interesting.
constitutional thing.
Yeah, but if this happened with Trump, for example, he would have handed the torch to somebody else, right?
Yeah, the Republicans would have done the same thing.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
my point is, I think there should be something in the Constitution that says if this happens, then we should,
But you can't,
cease. Why?
because the Constitution is against political parties. It doesn't talk about a particular political party. What you're talking about is
Yeah.
valid. Yeah, there should
Where
be
would you
a
put
system.
that then?
You would put it in the like the Democratic Party Constitution.
But that will never happen. I'm trying to say,
Yeah.
okay, maybe
there's no
Constitution's
way
the right
around it.
word,
That's why.
but there has to be a
yeah.
nonpartisan way of saying, hey, there needs to be an unbiased way of if somebody drops, we can have a real
I agree with
primary.
you. Yeah, but the only way to do that is in the Democratic
But that's
Party.
not going to happen.
So then it will never happen.
Why
the
can't
only
we can put an amendment in.
the concept, but how would
Yeah.
you go about operating? It's like a whole thing.
I'm sure it
Yeah.
is a whole thing, but I think that's the way to do it. It's not possible, bro. Think about it. It's not possible to make the Republicans or Democrats do that.
I'm glad Kamala is running instead of Joe Biden, bro. Honestly, it was long overdue. Something though, I don't blame. I don't. I agree with you in that
Yeah.
what happened, how Joe Biden dropped out and Kamala immediately just became her successor.
Yeah.
She was her vice president. If Joe Biden were to die today, Kamala Harris would be the president of the United States.
Right.
Well, so that is.
But that's not the same.
It's not like some outside. Obviously, it's not the same. I'm not agreeing with. I was pissed off too. What happened?
Yeah,
but like, it's sad. But that's what the two-party system does to you.
Right.
It corrupts you.
It does. It sucks.
Yeah.
Point is, I wish there was like a primary, I guess, like a redo primary or something.
Yeah, but how do you do it in a month?
It's tough, obviously.
Yeah.
You push the election. I don't know.
No, you can't push the presidential
I know.
election.
It's very difficult. But you can't just appoint somebody, dude. That's literally cheating the system.
She was his VP though. Look, bro.
Yeah.
What they did was wrong.
Yeah.
I agree, but I'm just like, it is what it is now. It's sad, but again, like
Biden should have continued running. Honestly, he should have continued.
Biden should have.
He should have continued running.
You know what Biden should have done?
He would have lost.
Drop out a year ago.
Yeah,
he
true.
should have announced, I'm not seeking re-election like he promised. Biden didn't live up to his promise.
True.
He forgot his promise.
He
I
should
don't
have
blame
done
the
that.
guy.
Since he didn't, he should have just continued, and he would have lost.
Is Kamala Harris qualified to be president?
I don't think so.
Is Donald Trump qualified to be president?
I don't think so.
Interesting.
I don't think either of them are, bro. I don't like either of these candidates.
Qualified to be president.
Yeah, are they qualified?
Yeah, to be president. I think both of them are.
Because
Donald Trump has literally been president.
He's been president.
He's been, and Kamala Harris has been.
My point, I just don't care for either of these candidates, dude.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. Yeah. I don't like either of them.
Is she qualified? She's running.
Come on, bro. She's qualified to run
What's
for
Matt's
president.
opinions compared to 100 million plus?
You don't think she's qualified? This is your podcast.
I don't think. Okay, I think Trump is more qualified than her because he got chosen. She didn't get chosen by the people.
She did in 2020. The people chose
be VP,
vice president.
But that's irrelevant because they
Wow.
care more about. Dude, do you think people care more about Trump or Vance?
Trump, yeah.
Way more.
No, I understand.
It's not even
but
a question.
she's running for president. It's not like, oh yeah, since Joe Biden dropped out, I'm president basically.
Yeah.
She's not doing that.
Yeah, but it kind of feels like it.
Is she the president right now? Like
No.
deep state, probably.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe.
You know what
Maybe.
Joe Biden said is that's my real boss. Like, he was like,
Yeah,
he
yeah.
was. Did you see that?
That was a good joke. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't
Joe,
know if it was a joke, but
I think Joe Biden would have lost.
he would have
very
lost
easily. Kamala Harris has a chance of winning. Right now, the numbers, bro.
Yeah.
I was looking at this.
Yeah,
this
yeah.
is where my Jamie instincts come in. Look at so if somebody's listening in, I'm pulling up an average of polls compared to 2020 to 2024.
Okay.
The picture is very different.
Okay.
So, Democrats
Yeah.
have lost their standing in
Mhm.
Pennsylvania, Michigan, Ohio, and not Ohio. Let me restate that one more
Okay.
time. They've lost their standing in Michigan, Pennsylvania. Those are the two of the very they call it the blue wall. Michigan,
Yeah.
Wisconsin, and Pennsylvania. That's the
Okay.
blue wall. Kamala Harris needs to win those 3 states.
And it's not looking like she is.
It looks harder. It looks harder. Especially, bro.
Why harder?
Especially, I'm looking at the stats.
What made
So
you laugh?
compared to, because I'm looking at compared to 2020, bro.
Yeah.
Joe Biden was up by like 5 or 6 points
Oh,
in the
wow.
and not just electoral college, like
Yeah.
popular vote, which doesn't really matter.
Right.
Kamala Harris is only up by 1.8%. And she's expected to win the popular vote because that's what, that happened in 2016. Hillary Clinton won the popular vote. Yeah, Kamala Harris is probably going to win,
Right.
but it's close. It's 1.8% right now, which means Trump can maybe win that. I honestly, bro, if the election was today, Donald Trump would be president, in my opinion. If the election was today.
Yeah.
Today is October 23rd. We still have 13 days left.
We're almost there, dude.
We're almost
You think
there.
they're shitting their pants every day?
Donald
They
Trump
have to
doesn't
be,
shit.
bro.
He doesn't shit. He only farts.
They have to be.
You have to hold it in. If you're a real winner, you don't shit at all. You fart throughout the day periodically. But the polls are very
Bro,
stark.
he will go ape shit if a girl beats him.
He went apeshit when a dude beat him.
Yeah, well, if a girl beats him, it's even crazier.
Look, bro, and Democrats have also lost a percentage point in California and New York. Negative. Just 1 percentage point, but
it's huge
still,
for
yeah.
California. Wow.
And
New York,
Republicans
yeah.
have gained in Texas and Florida and Montana. And if anybody's curious what averages I'm looking at, it's 270towin.com. They're very reliable. Are they extremely reliable? I don't know.
Maryland
but
and Virginia are mostly.
Maryland is obviously Democrat. I mean, and Virginia, yes, Democratic as well.
Yeah. And
Probably.
Pennsylvania, you said it's lost its standing though.
Pennsylvania is
More
Kamala
Republican.
Harris is still up, but it's very
1 point.
close. Like, let me just tell you the averages right now.
Okay.
As of now, because I
Yeah.
compared it to 2020,
Yeah.
it's even right now in Pennsylvania.
It's
Even.
Even.
Statistically even. Even in Nevada. Even in Wisconsin. Michigan, Kamala Harris is up by 1. North Carolina, Donald Trump is up by 1. Georgia, Donald Trump is up by 2 points. But you know what's a contingent election is?
What?
A contingent election happens when no candidate is able to reach the 270 electoral votes needed to be
okay.
president. So, you know, in the
Yeah, I know what
electoral
you mean.
college, you got to have 270 votes to
Right,
be
right.
president. If no candidate reaches that, interesting things happen. So the election goes to the House of Representatives.
No.
Yes. And the House of Representatives, they don't vote as an individual district. Rather, they become a state delegation. So California would have one vote.
Okay. Interesting.
Alaska would have 1 vote. Florida. And they get to pick president. But guess what's so interesting more?
What?
My grammar is so off. What's
Whoa,
interesting
whoa, whoa,
more? The Senate gets to pick the vice president. So it's possible if the Democrats win the House
Okay.
and the Republicans win the Senate, we might have a president that's different political party than a vice
No
president.
chance.
So Donald Trump could be president and Tim Walz could be vice president. If no candidate reaches 270
No
electoral
way.
votes. I'm not
Or
kidding.
Kamala and Vance.
Or it could be Kamala Harris and JD Vance.
Bro, Trump and Waltz would be hilarious.
That would be
dude.
pretty funny, bro.
That
Tim
would be
Walz.
so funny, dude.
Yeah. So that's called a
But they could
contingent
drop,
election.
right? Like Waltz could just say, "Hey, I don't want to be."
Why
part
would
of
he do that though?
But he could.
He could, yeah,
And
obviously.
then what would happen?
So then Trump gets to pick whatever
Or
person.
Trump would get to pick.
I think so.
Or
I'm
the
pretty
Senate
sure.
would re-chose.
I think the president gets to appoint. So
Why? Okay, so why does the House? What made them choose the House to choose
the
a
House,
president?
it's the people's house, House of
I see,
Representatives,
okay.
right? So they
Oh,
get to
but
pick
why,
the
and then
president.
Why does the Senate get to choose?
They just wanted to balance it, you know. So the Senate has a
That's
voice,
kind
the
of a
House.
shitty thing.
Nah,
Okay,
I don't know. I think it's
really
pretty
agree.
fair. I actually,
Uh,
a lot of people
okay.
have their things against the Electoral College.
Yeah,
I don't.
a lot of
thi-
people do, but no, it makes
it
sense.
makes
Yeah,
sense.
it makes sense.
You know, like California
Yeah.
has how many electoral votes? Like
52.
52?
Yeah,
52, that's a lot.
that's a lot.
And people complain, oh, like, how come Pennsylvania gets to decide the election? Well, it's because people,
They're swing, yeah.
it's a swing state, meaning people aren't crazy liberals or crazy conservatives.
Right.
They're just like normal, level-headed people, as they should be everywhere across America.
Yeah.
No state should be a swing state. No, actually, every state should be a swing state. No
Every-
state should be a solid blue or red,
Right.
in my opinion.
Right.
You know, every state should be a swing state.
California was red once.
It was,
Arnold.
yeah, but yeah, Reagan won it
Oh yeah, and right. Reagan.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
because he was from California.
Yeah. Oh, that's.
He's
yeah.
a Cali guy. Yeah,
So he probably did a lot of rallies here, huh?
yeah, bro. He has his presidential library right.
Oh yeah, facts.
right here.
Forgot about
Ronald
that.
Reagan Presidential
Yeah,
Library.
true.
Yeah.
Dude, that would be insane if that. But
At the
has that
contingent
ever
election
happened before?
Yes, 1800. Thomas Jefferson.
Thomas Jefferson?
Yeah, 1800. Yes, sir. It happened 200 years ago, so it can definitely happen.
Who was his VP?
Thomas Jefferson's VP? I don't know.
So Senate chose a VP though,
I'm not sure about the particulars, but the last time this happened was in 1800.
and this is the only other time it's happened.
I think it's happened twice.
And it was Jefferson versus who?
Let's see. So Thomas Jefferson, 1800. Oh, so it's called the Revolution of 1800. The Democratic Republican Party candidate, Vice President Thomas Jefferson, defeated the Federalist Party candidate and incumbent President John Adams.
Oh yeah, okay. I
The
remember
election was a political realignment that ushered in a generation of Democratic Republican leadership.
this. Okay, back then though,
Mm-hmm.
there weren't 50 states.
Yeah,
There was what?
there was less states.
13. There was 13 plus. How many more came in?
Probably because we got the Louisiana Purchase actually under Thomas Jefferson, so probably like 13,
Yeah, 13 then, huh?
13 or 14. Yeah.
So then I'm sure the system was different than it is like electorally,
Yeah.
right? But wow, that's interesting.
Yeah. I mean, is that gonna happen?
Probably not.
It's a very slim chance. I don't know. See, a lot of people are predicting what's gonna happen right now. I don't think you can.
Bro, that's like playing roulette and you hitting green.
Hey man, it's possible.
That's
It's too
like
early to
double
predict
zero.
who's gonna win.
Wow.
It's too early to predict who's gonna win. But right now, bro, the polls look really bad for Kamala Harris.
Really bad? Yeah.
In my opinion,
Yeah,
they
yeah.
look really bad.
Even I mean, I know it doesn't really matter, but you saw Poly Market? You know what that is?
Yeah, they bet on
They bet?
elections. Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't matter. I actually saw a joke the other day. It was pretty funny. It's like all these Republicans are betting on Trump and thinking that their bet, like their money, is gonna change the election. When in reality, it doesn't really matter at all.
Yeah.
But that's pretty fun. But he's destroying her on Poly Market, bro, by like 20 points.
Who cares? Poly Market. It could go either way, bro. You know,
It's
so
really
much can happen in 13 days.
Yeah, a lot can happen.
Somebody could get shot, God forbid. Somebody could.
There's been 3 attempts essentially, right, with Trump.
Two.
I think there was, one was a false. It was a false.
Two
thing,
actual like shooters have
with
been
guns,
arrested.
yeah.
Yeah.
There was the other day they heard something, but they couldn't confirm there was any guns on site.
Hey man, anything could happen. Kamala Harris could get
She
shot.
could get shot, yeah.
You know, she could get shot. Anything could happen. This is
Republicans
America.
are level-headed people, though. They wouldn't do that to us.
You know,
Democrats on the other end,
Democrats and
They're a
Republicans.
nuts.
Tomato, tomato.
Yeah.
Tomato, tomato.
Bringing it back to ground zero, full circle.
Nah, yeah,
tomato, tomato.
but the elections have a consequence, my brother. They can change a lot.
What are they going to change in your
They
life?
can change our clout status. So, for
How
instance,
so?
if Kamala Harris comes on the podcast, right, it's over. Gen Z speaks to the moon, baby.
If Trump comes on the podcast.
oh,
it's
if
over.
if Donald Trump comes on the podcast,
Yes, we're getting 1 million subs.
I think it's gonna be our best podcast.
It would be an amazing podcast.
It would be an amazing podcast. I would.
I would do the
God.
Trump voice the whole time. You
No,
would do the Trump
no,
voice the
no,
whole
you-
time.
That would be that would we should not do that.
Why
I would-
not?
we should do it like maybe towards
Shane
the
Gillis
end.
did it.
Shane Gillis didn't do it in front of Trump.
He's
never
You
even-
think he wouldn't?
Yeah, sure,
would.
but and on a podcast the whole time, he'll walk out.
Bro, I'm joking. Yes, I'm joking. I'm not doing it the whole freaking time with Donald John Trump.
I'll do it towards the end, maybe.
With Barron, I would do it the whole time, though.
I think Donald Trump would like my impression.
Barron, me talking like this, do I feel like your daddy? Does it feel like I'm your
What if
father?
Donald Trump tells you to shut up and never do his voice again?
Then I'll be like, Donald John Trump, am I allowed to play on your golf course with you? And he says yes, and then I'll say, okay, I'll never do it again.
What if he says, "I'll beat you in golf. You don't look like a golfer. You look like an illegal."
I'll tell him. Let's run it. Run it, Donald.
I should ask you, what is the most important issue for you in this election? As
I think
a 24-year-old ethnically ambiguous man living in Los Angeles, a small
economy.
business owner.
simply the economy.
The
70%
economy.
I think it's 70% of Americans say the economy.
What does Matthew Gutierrez say? The economy.
The economy, 100%.
Specifically, what in the economy?
Specifically, what in the economy?
Yeah.
Housing prices are insane.
So you care more about how you want to buy a house, housing prices?
Yeah, housing prices, interest rates. Honestly, dude, the biggest thing that I would like to change is housing prices, and then freight is through the moon, dude. Transport costs. Oh man, to get stuff shipped from here to Mexico, it's insane, dude.
You don't like Kamala Harris's policy for small businesses?
I love her policy, but
You
it's
do?
never going to happen. It's a blatant lie.
It's a blatant lie.
Yeah,
You
but
think
either
so?
way, tomato,
Really?
Tomato.
You think it's a lie?
Yeah, it's a lie. How is she gonna give us each $40,000?
You're not excited? What if she does? Would you take it?
Hell yeah, I would take it. Hell yeah, Kamala, I would take it.
So what if you knew?
Kamala, I would take your $40,000.
What if Kamala Harris this gets elected, right? And it's like a sure thing to happen. And hypothetically, would you vote for Kamala because
No.
of that? No.
No,
Because if you don't, you were the deciding election. You were the deciding
Yeah.
vote, Matthew.
I wouldn't do it.
You wouldn't vote for Kamala?
$40,000. Honestly, it doesn't mean that much to me that I need to give away my dignity. I feel like I'm giving away my
Ah.
dignity if I do something I don't believe in.
You feel like you're giving away your dignity
Yeah.
if you vote for Kamala Harris.
If I vote for somebody I don't believe in,
Okay. So
Yeah.
this means you'll not be voting for Kamala Harris?
I won't be.
You will not be
I
voting
don't
for
believe
Kamala
in her.
Harris.
I don't believe in her.
Does that mean you'll be voting for Donald John Trump?
I won't be voting for him either.
So we don't know who you'll be voting for. That's good. You know, we'll let it be
I
undecided.
want to know who Russell voted for.
Technically,
Font?
you're still undecided then, right?
No, I decided who.
You decided not Trump or Harris.
Neither.
Well, you heard it here. Gen Z speaks. We're standing by our dignity, not
Yep.
voting for either of the two political tycoons.
If Kamala said, "Hey, I'll give you $100,000 right now if you vote for me," will you do it?
No, that's what. That's a no.
Right
It's
now.
a bribe.
Right now, she does it.
100. If now it would be different if she says, "I'll come on the podcast right now if you vote for me."
You would do it.
like vote for her if she comes on the
pod.
podcast? No, man, no.
What if $1 million?
That would you know that
What
would
if she
swing
said
the
$1 million?
huh?
$1 million, vote for
Uh-huh.
me.
Here's $1 million. Vote for me.
Yeah.
I'm not taking the money. No.
You wouldn't take
That
$1
would actually
million?
swing the election in Trump's favor because I would leak it to the news. I'd be like, Kamala
I'll take
Harris.
the $1 million and then leak it to the news.
You know, that would make me actually a millionaire. Me leaking it to the news, me becoming this hero.
It possibly
I
could make you a
basically
millionaire.
exposed a would-be fraud by the next president of the United
$10 million.
States. I'm not taking any money.
You would do it. $10 million.
No. Would you do it for 10 million?
Yes.
You would do it.
$10 million?
But you're going to jail, dog.
Why?
You accepted a bribe to vote for somebody. What is this? You're like you're Indian man. What are you swinging your hand like? You just cooked the. You just
I guess you'll see me in India.
That looks
You'll
like you
see
just
me in
cooked like
India,
the
buddy.
best
Buddy, you'll see
chicken
me in
tikka
India
masala.
as
Why would you
I'll
swing
be
your
an
hands
Ambani.
like that?
I'll be an Ambani with my $10 million in India.
No, they wouldn't. Bro, the Ambani wedding cost like 50 times that.
Ambani's, I'll be one of your legs.
Nah, they're like, you
I'll
can't
be
even
your
be my
right
left nut. How will you be my leg?
I'll be your righto. Don't worry about it.
Terrible Indian
I'll
accent.
open up the first 7-Eleven in India.
They don't have 7.
And I'll bring my culture over.
What shirt?
Culture.
Culture. That sounds more Jamaican than Indian.
No, very much Indian, so.
Okay, man. What else do you want to talk about?
Ibrahim ne.
About the campaign election.
Ne Ibrahim. Ne. Hajjao.
Very nice. You know 2 words.
Benchod.
Don't say that. Don't say that, dummy. We just lost our 40% South Asian demographic base. You know something? Can I give advice to Kamala Harris and
No.
Donald Trump?
No, you don't deserve to give them advice.
I
But
just
me, on the other hand,
you.
I think Kamala
Hold on a second. I'm not gonna let you interrupt me like that. I
Kamala,
was
I
in the
think
middle
what
of
you
giving
should do
advice.
is honestly go.
Don't listen to
on
this guy.
Go on more podcasts. Go on more talk shows. Bring up your personality more, and maybe you'll be likable. I think that's her best bet. I don't think she's gonna win, to be honest, but I think she could be more likable for the future.
You don't think Kamala Harris is likable?
No.
Do you think Donald Trump is likable?
Yes.
You don't think Kamala Harris is likable?
No.
But you think Donald Trump is likable?
Yes.
But you're not voting for either of
No,
them.
I'm not voting for either.
And what makes you say Kamala Harris is not likable?
When I see her, she looks like a fraud. She looks like a fake.
And Donald Trump does not look like a fraud.
He makes me laugh.
But does Donald Trump look like a fraud?
He doesn't visually. No, he doesn't look like a fraud.
Visually, Donald Trump doesn't look like a fraud, bro. He looks like a con man. He looks like the father of frauds. What are you talking about, bro? That's like the worst take I've heard. Kamala Harris genuinely does not look like a fraud.
Yes, she does, bro.
No, she does not.
Yes, she does.
Does she
dude.
sound like a fraud? Maybe. Possibly.
Bro, when I look at her, I see her soul has left her body a long time
Are you
ago.
being serious, actually?
I think she does.
You think she sold her soul to the Illuminati? Is that what happened?
Maybe not Illuminati. Maybe something else.
You think Donald Trump sold his soul?
He's done a lot of people wrong.
Yes. It's
He's done a
going to
lot of
catch
people
up one
Yeah.
way or another.
Yeah, he's done. Yes, but I think he's a likable person, though. Yeah.
He's a likable, and Kamala Harris is not likable.
Yeah.
I disagree. Donald Trump definitely looks like a fraud.
When
How
I
dare
watch-
you?
When I
How
watch
dare
Donald,
you insult
honestly,
Donald
bro,
like that?
When I watch Donald,
Yeah.
I laugh, and that makes me feel for him more.
He just
Honestly.
no, bro.
But Kamala, when she like tries to make some joke, and I'm like,
Kamala Harris?
and it's like, bro, just stop. It's cringe.
I think you just don't like Kamala
I don't.
because
But I don't like
because
Trump
of
either.
her chromosomes. I think you don't like her because she
Oh.
has.
Well, I'm a sexist guy, I guess.
I didn't say that.
That's
I
what
just
you're
said
trying
you,
to
you don't
say.
like her because of her chromosomes.
That
I think that's what it
sexism,
is.
buddy.
Maybe.
I'm not a sexist.
You're
She's just
not-
not a good candidate, bro.
I'm not a racist. I have one black friend. I have one Mexican friend.
I have a girlfriend. I'm
and
not
one,
sexist.
I have one Filipino friend. I have a mother and a daughter. I love women. I
don't have a daughter.
think she's not yet. Not yet, buddy. Hold on
I
a
will have
second.
a son.
It's okay. You can
and
have a
I'll
daughter
call him
too.
Maximus the
Would you
third.
rather want to have a daughter or a son?
Son.
A son over a daughter.
Yep.
And this guy says I'm not sexist.
I would rather have a son.
We're posting this on TikTok, buddy.
I would rather have a son.
I'm not sexist.
Would you rather have a son or a daughter?
Honestly, no preference.
Bullshit.
Honestly, God's honest truth, no preference.
You wouldn't want to teach your son to play cricket?
Yeah, but I can also teach my daughter to play cricket.
No, bro. It's not
Are
the
you in?
same.
It's not the same. Why?
Trust me. If I have a daughter, I'm gonna teach her how to surf. I'm gonna teach her how to snowboard.
And cricket,
But
obviously.
No.
Obviously.
But it's different playing catch with your son. It's just a different feeling, dude. Teaching him to be a man, that's a very different thing.
Do you know what it's like?
Yeah.
You know what it's like?
I have an
So you're
adopted
saying-
kid.
Huh?
I have an adopted kid.
You have an adopted kid?
Yeah.
What?
I have a kid in Africa.
Shut up, bro. This kid.
You think I'm joking?
Yes, you are joking.
Bro, you haven't seen those things? Give $500, feed the kid for the rest of his life?
Yeah, that's
That's my son.
okay. What's his name?
Nanjaku.
Oh my God.
What do you mean? Are you making
That
fun
doesn't
of my
even
son?
sound like a name.
Don't
yes,
make
I
fun
am.
of my son.
I'm making fun of your
Don't
son.
make fun of my son.
Terrible name.
He's my son.
I thought you were good at naming.
I
Give
didn't
him a
name
good
him.
name.
I didn't
like,
name him.
Give him a good name, like Abdul. Abdul. What a beautiful
He's
name.
black.
So, there's a lot of Abdul's name. There's. What do you mean? It's a global
I'm gonna
name.
name him Mohammed
Yeah, do it.
Diop.
Yes.
Mohammed Diop.
Oh, that guy.
My buddy.
Yeah. Can I say though, free advice to the Trump campaign?
No, I have to give my advice to the Trump campaign now. Trump, keep doing your thing, buddy. Like, you can go ahead.
You have no. That was no advice. That's it. Just
That
keep
was
doing your
advice,
thing.
Yeah.
That's it. Like what is your insight? Anything else you want to add to?
I was trying to make a joke there, buddy.
It didn't land. Rework it right now. Let's make it land properly. Let's work on it together. All right. So start out with the premise.
No, bro.
Okay. So no
Doesn't
advice
work.
to the Trump campaign.
Yeah, Trump campaign. Trump, honestly, I think he's doing better this campaign than he did last campaign.
Yes.
For sure. He's more reserved. I think it's better. He's still
He's
funny.
more reserved.
He's more reserved.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is, bro. He's way more reserved. Oh my gosh, yes he is, dude. 100%.
No.
He's not so interrupting. He's not so like obviously he says some weird shit about the dogs and the cats. But he said a lot more crazy things back then, bro. He said a lot more crazy things.
So what has happened is
I don't like them. He literally said, I don't like the Muslims. He said, I don't like Mexicans. They're drug dealers. He is not saying anything like this.
So what's happened? There's a lot of things that have happened. The man almost got shot. I think
Yes.
that has to change you a little bit. He's older. Have you seen his
Even
hair?
before his shooting, though,
He was older. He's almost 80.
he is.
He is aged. You could see it in his face and
I
his
don't
hair.
think Donald Trump's that type of guy to change. He was 76, right, when he first
Yeah.
ran. So
Yeah. No, and not in terms of change. I think he's changed his like public persona because he's
yeah, it's smart.
I take that back. I don't think he's changed his public. You know why you think that? Because you've seen him in podcasts. Before, you used to see him on ABC, CNN, where he's always like battling reporters that hated him. He wasn't
Yeah.
going on any podcasts
True.
before. That's why, because you see him let loose. You see him in his like
But
habitat.
not just on podcasts. Before the podcast, bro.
On the debate, you think he was reserved, bro?
He
The
was way
Biden
more
debate,
reserved
the
than with
Biden
Hillary.
debate.
Then with Hillary, Kamala debate versus Hillary debate, he was way more reserved with Kamala. Come on,
It's hard to
bro, be real.
What?
Kamala and Trump versus Hillary,
because
and
he doesn't
Donald.
have much to say against Kamala. Like Hillary Clinton had so much baggage, bro. You know, Husserl and Hodge made this joke. He just released a special.
Mm.
Great observation. He was like, all these politicians are like lunatics and power hungry
Uh-huh.
because what type of a person would want to be in the same office? Giving the example of Hillary Clinton,
Yeah,
that her husband literally got a blowjob in.
that's insane.
Like, she wanted to be in the same office every single
that's
day
insane.
for 4 years.
That's insane.
At the very spot, bro, where literally shit happened.
I bet she'll change that desk and chair though.
Can you imagine, bro? Isn't that crazy? That's a good observation. So
Yeah,
that's
that's
why, I
insane.
mean, like,
That's sick, bro.
where was I going with
See,
that?
she has no dignity.
Hillary Clinton had a lot
she-
of baggage.
yeah,
she has no dignity.
How can you stay with somebody that cheats on you, bro? That's crazy shit.
Or you could say the opposite. That takes a lot of character to stay with somebody and a lot of, like,
But
human.
what do you think the intent was?
What?
Honestly, what do you think her intent was? She didn't want to bring a bad name to herself.
She wanted a career in politics.
Yes.
Yes.
That's my point.
obviously.
There's no dignity in
But
that.
I don't want to.
If it's for true love, and I mean, I don't know. I could never do it, but
Are you saying she doesn't love Bill?
I
William
don't-
Jefferson Clinton?
buddy,
She doesn't love him?
they ain't no Bill and Melinda.
Do you know what Bill recently said at a funeral?
What did Bill say?
I'm not going to say. Is
Bill Gates?
No,
What'd he say?
Bill Clinton.
Oh,
What did he say? He was saying somebody died, and he was like, she used to flirt with me. But he said it in like an innocent way. He was like, she used to flirt with me in the most innocent ways. And everybody started laughing.
the most innocent ways.
Yeah, she was dead. She was Kennedy just died, I swear.
Okay.
And he was saying the speech.
That's
and
a
he was
weird
like,
thing to say, bro.
She used to flirt with me in the most innocent ways. Sorry, Hillary.
You don't sound like Bill.
He
very
didn't say
much, though.
sorry, Hillary. Yeah, I need
He
to
said
work.
sorry, Hillary.
No, I didn't. He didn't say that.
Oh,
Bill Clinton sounds like let me see. My fellow Americans, I did not have any sexual relations with that woman. Something like that. Close.
yeah, I don't know.
I
bro.
did not have any. Okay, you do Bill
I
Clinton.
can't do Bill, so I'm not gonna do it.
I did not have any sexual
I can do Hillary.
relations with that woman. Do Hillary.
Trump, I hate you so much.
Okay, that sounded worse than Winnie the Pooh. No, what is that guy on Disney? No, not Disney. Mickey Mouse. That sounded like Mickey Mouse.
She sounds like Mickey.
Hillary Clinton
She
sounds
looks
like
like
Mickey
Mickey.
Mouse. She looks like Mickey Mouse.
Not Minnie.
What are we talking about now,
I'm
man?
just joking, dude. You're gonna give your advice, and I didn't really want you to give your advice, but I'll allow it now.
You gave
Go ahead.
terrible advice
Well,
to
I'll
Trump.
give your advice.
You didn't give any advice to
I
Trump.
did give advice.
You said just keep doing your thing.
No, I said something after.
What did you say?
Were you listening?
Oh,
Are you
yes.
here?
The whole point I made. Yes, I remember now. My advice to Kamala Harris is it might be too late, you know. it might
be too late.
It might be too late,
It probably
Kamala.
is too late. It's
I
2
would
weeks,
say
bro.
no,
Let's
but
be real.
I would say Kamala, go on as many podcasts as you can. Try to reach more male voters. I know you love the woman. You're a woman. You love the woman, but you got to do more to reach
Yeah.
the male voters.
True.
Because Donald Trump has done an impeccable job at that. My God.
Yeah.
Whoever's controlling Donald Trump's social media policy
The
and
Nelk
public
boys.
policy.
He took the Nelk boys on Trump first one.
You know, a lot of people criticize the Donald Trump going to McDonald's. I actually
No,
thought it was smart.
that was a good thing.
Because Kamala's whole thing was she
Yeah.
used to work at McDonald's.
Oh, I didn't
so
think
that-
about that.
Yeah.
I didn't draw that together. Wow.
Yeah, so
very clever,
Kamala's
yeah.
whole thing was I used to work at McDonald's. Donald Trump was like, I'll literally work there for a day, put fries in a bag.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Just put the fries in the bag, bro.
That's what he did?
That's what he did. That's what Donald Trump basically did at McDonald's. Just put the fries in the
Bro,
bag.
That's insane. Somebody could
Yeah.
easily just shot him right there. Easily.
Yeah, but they did. Come on, Secret Service now is next level. Like they
I don't know
really.
about that, brother. I don't know
Actually,
about that.
you may be right. You never know with the Secret Service. My advice to the Harris
Yeah.
campaign, though, if somebody's listening in, number one thing you have to do is come on the Gen Z Speaks podcast. Obviously, that's going to increase your swing state demographic. You're automatically going to get the male vote there. Just Gen Z Speaks. Come here. That's the first step. Number two, you got to let loose, Kamala. Just go on any show, talk show. Just not talk show. Go on more podcasts.
Be calculated.
Be calculated. And also, I would say, you have to just be yourself and stand up for the things you believe in. You know, like don't just what's the word I'm looking for? Don't just
Settle.
not settle. There's a word. Don't just pander. Don't pander. Don't
Or is she
pander.
pandering?
She's pandering on issues. Donald Trump does the same thing. All politicians
He
pander.
weaves.
He panders
He
too,
weaves,
bro. What
bro.
is your obsession with Donald Trump? This makes me
Honestly,
yeah.
he makes me laugh, bro.
Okay.
He does make me laugh.
He makes me laugh too.
He makes me laugh.
Does
bro.
that mean he should be president of the United States?
No, but I get to see.
Maybe.
I get to laugh more.
I will say it'll be hilarious.
To
The
see
next
him in
4
Tim Walz,
years,
bro.
it's just gonna be hilarious.
Yeah, regardless of who it is.
Yeah. No,
Him and Tim Walz will be hilarious, dude.
not him and JD Vance.
Bro, Walz would be
He'd be like tripping
hilarious.
over, like he's doing like a press conference. Tim Walz will be like, "No, stop, no, my God, no."
So do you think Waltz would say I disagree with you on this stuff, or do you think he would start to
I
assimilate?
don't know, buddy. This hasn't happened in 200 years.
But
You're
what
asking
do you
me.
think would happen? Waltz, knowing Waltz,
Yeah, I don't know Tim Walz
I think he
personally.
would assimilate.
What he would become? No,
He would start looking
he's
a little more like
he
Trump.
looks like a good guy, bro. He lied about the
He
Hong Kong
Definitely
thing.
doesn't look like a good guy.
Tim Walz? Oh, sorry. He
looks like
seems like a
clown,
cool.
bro.
He looks like a clown. He seems like a
Yes.
good guy.
Maybe not.
Good at heart. Do you think he's a likable guy, Tim Walz?
No, bro.
He's not a
He
likable
makes
guy?
me feel uncomfortable.
Is JD Vance a likable guy?
Yes.
Oh my God, bro. Okay, so you have a clear bias.
No, I don't. I genuinely don't.
Okay, let me see. Let's
Pete
list off all
Buttigieg?
Pete Buttigieg. Yeah,
He's a likable guy.
he's a likable guy.
And he's gay.
So are you
I'm
saying
just-
gay people are not likable? This man just wants to get canceled today. Okay, buddy. Well, she's a woman, and
No,
she's-
seriously. Gavin Newsom is not very likable, no.
You're listing off all Democrats.
Well,
the
I'm trying to,
only
I'm trying
Pete
to show
Buttigieg,
you.
yeah.
No, I'm trying. I think Joe
Is
Biden.
Michelle Obama likable?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Obama's likable. I think Joe Biden
What
used to
about-
be likable.
What about
I
Doug
told you this.
Emhoff?
I voted for Joe Biden, fucker.
You voted for Joe Biden?
Yeah, I told you this on the pod before.
Astaghfirullah Rabbi min kulli zaman wa tawba
Why'd you say that?
No, it's okay, man. So you voted for Joseph
did.
Robinette Biden. Is he
You did
likable?
because you weren't a citizen yet.
I was not a citizen. Is he likable? Is he
He
likable?
was.
He was. Is he likable?
No, not anymore.
Not anymore. At 2020, when you voted
He's
for him,
like a
was
grandpa. Like I would love him as a grandpa.
you would love him as a grandpa.
I would love him.
Would you love him as your 47th president?
No, no, I don't. I genuinely just think JD Vance is like. I think when he speaks, he has some presence.
JD Vance, from what I've seen in his everyday interactions with normal people, is not likable. He can change my mind by coming on the Gen Z Speaks podcast.
Come on, boy.
This whole podcast, we've just been recruiting politicians to come.
The hardest politicians to get.
The hardest ones to get. He was on Theo Vaughn the other day.
He was.
Yeah.
And he was also on the Nelk Boys.
I was giving advice to the Kamala Harris campaign.
Yep.
And I think that's, so come on the Gen Z Speaks podcast.
Come
Let
on, Gen Z
loose.
Speaks
Go on
podcast.
more podcasts. Don't pander. Speak about the issues that you really believe in. And it's okay. Like, be unfiltered. Laugh out loud how many times you want. Don't let nobody ever tell you you can't do something.
It's okay to lose.
You want something, go get it, Kamala. As the great Will Smith once said.
Yeah.
The pursuit of
Well,
happiness. Rest in peace.
Ideally, not him, but the main guy, the
Yes.
actual guy. I forgot his name.
Chris Gardner.
Chris Gardner. You remember? Very
Yes.
nice.
Very
nice.
good memory I have.
Very nice.
Donald Trump, now to the Trump campaign, my advice. Where
You
do
have
I
no advice 'cause
start?
it's perfect.
No, I have some advice. I would say, literally, just don't say anything controversial.
Yeah,
But
he's doing
is
good
that
right now.
good?
He's
But
doing good.
He does say, he said a bunch of stuff this morning.
He says whatever he wants, and that's what people like. Even if they don't
Yeah.
they don't agree with him, they like that at least he's himself.
Just don't say anything you haven't said in the past. How about that? Don't say everything. Continue doing what you have done.
Yeah.
Just don't say anything outside of the box. Like of what you've already said, which basically includes everything. So
Yeah,
I don't
well,
know.
So just stay silent? No, that'd be the worst decision.
I
If
would say how about golf. Yeah, golf for the next 13 days.
Bro,
compete in a golf
If he
championship.
went AWOL, what do you think would happen? If he went AWOL for the next 2 weeks, he doesn't show up on anything. He doesn't do anything.
Doesn't
nobody
change
knows where
anything.
he's at.
It doesn't change anything.
You don't think so?
No.
You think he's still gonna win?
No, listen. I'm not predicting Donald Trump's
But
gonna
you
win.
think he's gonna win?
If the election was today, he would win. But
Right.
a lot can happen, bro. In the
Not
next
a
13
lot.
days, a lot can
Like
happen.
what?
Bro, do you remember the 2016 election?
Yes.
The Trump tapes came
Fair.
out. Obviously, that didn't have an impact. But you know
Fair,
what did
fair.
have an impact? James
that?
Comey opening up the FBI investigation.
Yeah.
Literally, how many weeks before
Okay,
the
that's a
election?
fair point.
So a lot
Some
can
things
happen.
can happen, yeah.
Things is America, brother.
But Buddy-
this is America.
Buddy was already, bro, impeached. He's a felon,
yeah.
and he's still probably gonna win.
No, I agree. So, but there's
That's insane,
something can happen. Maybe his
That
sex
is-
tape with Melania Trump comes out or something.
That
I don't
would-
know if that would change
that would
anything.
actually
That would actually
help
give it
it.
more. Yeah,
Yeah,
that would
help it.
actually help it. Melania, if you're listening, all you have to do is
Release. the
press
tapes.
record.
Bro.
She would actually have to go back in the
That
2000s
would
to
be
find
sick, bro. That would be sick.
that. That would be sick. Whoa, you seem way too excited for that.
Sickening,
Oh.
sickening.
I thought you were like, oh, that's rad.
No, not like cool. Like that'd be sick. That guy naked, bro.
So
no
basically,
thanks.
you're saying nothing can change somebody
He has
who's
a cult
already
following,
voting
bro. He
for
has a
Trump.
cult following. Kamala doesn't have a cult following.
Oh no, Kamala has a cult
She
following.
does not have a cult
She
following.
does.
No. She
Amongst
does
women and Gen Z
does not,
women,
bro.
she does.
not. She
100%.
does not. No. He has a true cult following, bro. It's like a religion. MAGA is like a religion.
Beyond this election, you're saying, like followers
Beyond
and
every-
supporters.
yes, like they'll still like Trump. They'll still say MAGA.
Yeah, like Trump said famously. You remember what he said, right? I could go walk down Fifth Avenue and shoot somebody and not
Oh,
lose
yeah.
a single voter.
Yeah, he said that.
He said this in 2016.
Yeah.
When he was a year into politics.
He won.
Once.
Yeah.
Can he do it
He's
again?
still president though.
Can he do it again?
I don't know, bro.
What do
We'll
you think
see.
is gonna happen? Who's gonna
I
win?
think he's gonna win.
You think he's gonna
I
win?
think he's gonna take it.
So that's you're predicting Donald Trump
Yeah.
will be the 47th president of
Yeah.
the United States as of October 23rd, 2024,
Yep.
and you will not be voting for him,
I will not be.
but you think he will be our next president. And
And I think that's okay to vote for somebody else, but know they're not gonna win. A lot of people think that you have to believe in the person that's gonna win, that you think's gonna win. I don't think so.
I agree with you
Yeah.
because
That's how shit happens. That's how shit changes.
Exactly. My God, we agree.
Yeah.
You couldn't have said that better. Good
That's
job.
how shit
You
changes.
finally learned.
You like that one?
Yes. Good job. Yay! Give it up for Matthew Gutierrez.
Give it up for Ibrahim. Finally believes in a logical thing.
Yes. No.
Yeah, you agree.
Goodbye.
Thanks.